Welcome to the Music Review live stream series. It's Friday night. I'm your host, Juggernaut of Arkatech Beatz. What's the good word with everybody, man? We about to jump into these live reviews, man. Last night was pretty nice. If it's your first time here, welcome. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribing. I am your host, Juggernaut of multi-platinum production team Arkatech Beatz. Shout out to my partner, Mike Comedy. Doing live music reviews. If it's your first time here, like I said, you know you're doing make sure you like, comment, and subscribing. Make sure y'all hitting that link on the screen, submitting your music. We're about to get ready, get busy, let's go. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, man. Shout out to everybody jumping in the live, man. John, what up? Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. Shout out to all the new followers. We are streaming on all platforms. Make sure you're submitting your music to the link on the screen. It's powered by Sound Surge. Sound Surge is the new music discovery platform for independent artists and producers. Follow. Killing these charts right now on Sound Surge. Like I said, the new spot for music discovery, man. Big fuss, man. Thank you for the follow. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. We are streaming on all platforms. Since we started this live series, we've had a total of 1,854 submissions. It's crazy. listening to a lot of music. Trying to find out who's next, man. The name of this beat is called Out the Mud by Arkatech Beatz. Tell me who you can guess it's gonna go to. Shout out French Montana Max B. Let's go. Let's go. We making it do what it do. Shout out to all those folks that are jumping into the live stream. Folks that are trying to follow. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're not familiar with us, I'm juggernaut of multi-platinum production team Arkatech Beatz. I am responsible for producing for your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, Big Pun, Nas, Prodigy, Mobb Deep, Jadakiss, The Game, Max B, French Montana, Shorty Low, rest in peace, Alley Boy the Don, Killer Mike, The Game, Saha the Prince, Freddie Gibbs, you name it, we've pretty much done it. We're about to jump back into these songs. We're about to start listening to some music. Like I said, we've had a total of over 1,800 submissions, and I think some of those numbers reset, so we probably was well over 2,000. But it's all good. I've been listening to a lot of music. We've been connecting a lot of artists. We've been connecting some producers. If it's your first time here, welcome. Like I said, we are being powered by SoundSurge, right? So that's the new music discovery platform. It has the charts for independent artists, independent producers. It's very early on. Make sure you're jumping on that. It's free to join. For folks who are looking to get into the music production side, remember we are teaching the music business in our school community in Future Producer Society. I'm going to put the link into the chat so that you can find that, right? So we're definitely trying to do that. And we're teaching everything about the music business there if you haven't already known about it, right? One Sick, what up? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, right? So we're gonna be listening to a couple of tunes tonight, and remember what we're looking for when we're doing this tonight. We're trying to connect with new artists, trying to connect with new producers. We're trying to give folks some game on the music business, of course, as always. We're trying to help folks with their song structure, trying to help folks with their songwriting, their arrangement, right? Trying to make sure that folks got appropriate mixes, make sure folks got all of the things that help to make their records a little bit more commercially viable, right? This is one of those things that we're trying to do. And we're trying to give good feedback, constructive feedback, trying to make sure that we have actionable items, things that you can actually fix and make your music better. So for everybody that's jumping into the live, I appreciate y'all. People that are sharing the live, I appreciate y'all. People who are following, I appreciate y'all as well. And we're about to get busy into this thing. Let's go. We're going to jump into this first super skip. And this is on the Nero side. We're still listening to some music on the Nero side. Please make sure that you start seeing that over the next coming couple of weeks. This joint is called Sunday Side Eye by Tony G. He said he laid this initial track. He used AI to enhance. So he laid his own lyrics and vocals over the track. And this is what we've been talking about. We've been talking about this a lot in terms of having folks, use AI to enhance. Not really take AI and just run with the output and say, hey, I did it. Like, folks are taking it, producing it, adding vocal change to it, doing different things in their DAW, trying to make it their own, man. It's only supposed to be used as a tool, like the same way we would sample. You got to use this stuff as a tool. So let's go. Let's see how this is sounding. Let's see how I'm making it go.
Yeah, I got a question.
Shout out Tony G.
Nah, for real, answer me this. I got a question that I really need to know. Do you love him on Sunday and forget him when you go? Hands up in the church, but your heart stay cold. You be talking about the light, but you living in the low. I got a question, don't dodge, keep it real. Do you pray for the crowd or you pray how you feel? You say, God got me when it's time to get bold, but you quiet real quick when it's time to stand on soul. You the type to post a verse, put a caption with a flame, then be back in the same sin you was in yesterday. Say you walking with the Lord, but you drifting every day. Only time you say his name is when you try and look saved. You be speaking on grace like you really understand, but you judge everybody while you hiding your hand. Got a Bible on the dash, never open the plan. You know all the right words, but you don't really stand. I got a question that I really need to know. Do you love him on Sunday, don't forget him when you go? Hands up in the church, but your heart stay cold. You be talking about the light, but you living in the low. I got a question, don't dodge, keep it real. Do you pray for the crowd or you pray how you feel? You say, God got me when it's time to get bold, but you quiet real quick when it's time to stand on soul. You the type to say I change when the people around, but the moment you alone, you go right back down. Say you're fighting all your demons, but you're letting them drown in the same old habits that you never turn down. And I ain't saying perfect, yeah, we all fall short, but it hit a little different when you playing the part. You be acting real holy just to win you some hearts, but the truth don't live loud when it's dark in the dark. They see it all, no filter, no disguise. You can fool the whole world, you can't fool his eyes. It ain't about the image, it ain't about the show. It's who you are alone when nobody knows. I got a question that I really need to know. Do you love him on Sunday, then forget him when you go? Hands up in the church, but your heart stay cold. You be talking about the light, but you living in the low. I got a question, yeah. I got a question.
Shout out Tony G.
Yeah. You say you walking with him, but do you really though?
Shout out to John McNatt. Am I John McNatt 68? Oh, I'm sorry, 5658. You know, I'm over here squinting. My screen is big, but it's small. Shout out to him, man. He just pretty much tried to he sponsored somebody to get a skip on here. John, put it to the where did they submit this record at? Did they submit it here or did they submit it on the Sound Surge side? Please let me know which side it was submitted on so we can get that checked out for you. Thank you for that super chat and making sure that he's sponsoring somebody so that they can get to skip the line. And I respect that, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, you know, helping other musicians who may not have the quote unquote resources to get heard in real time. I appreciate that, man. This is really what this is about in terms of you know, helping each other get certain things done. So Tony G, man, shout out to him. Yeah, it's AI. Yeah, some folks have some AI stuff, right? Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream, right? This is from Tony G, man. He said he laid the initial track and then he enhanced it using some stuff with AI. We hear what the record is, right? And a lot of times folks are submitting records. You'll be surprised, folks are submitting AI records, and the AI records, you know, are probably having some poor song structure, some other issues with them. So you'll be surprised. Just because folks are using AI doesn't necessarily make it a perfect situation. In this situation with Tony G, now he has a record that I believe has a decent hook. It has a decent melody in terms of what he's written on it. And then he's following the appropriate song structure stuff that we always talk about. There was a slight intro. Then it went into Then it went into the verse, the hook, and then it goes into the verse. The verse is actually the right length, and then we actually go back into the hook, second verse, go back into the end hook again. So the song has a good structure on it, has a good beat going on it, has a decent melody on it. Now, folks might say, hey, it's AI, but again, sometimes AI gives us some weird output. So in this case, I want to say that not only did he correctly and accurately arrange the record, but he also made sure that everything was cohesive in terms of the lyrics, making sure that the hooks matched, because sometimes Suno likes to change the first hook from the last hook and the second hook. So sometimes these things have to still be arranged. So what you're seeing here is Tony G has taken his manual inputs, combined it with the AI, and now he's able to create something that's kind of, unique in itself, and basically something that's commercially viable. He can take this right now, he can put it out really as it is, right? The mix sounds pretty decent. Everything, the music is where it is, where it needs to be. So it doesn't necessarily have anything that I think that's glaring that would prevent it from really being accepted and used into the marketplace. So what I would probably suggest with this, Tony, is to start to chop it up, right? And start to put it to certain pieces of content. I can't really tell you which type of content you want to do, but you take the content that you feel is going to best. You want to create content for your songs that best show people how they should be able to consume your record. So if it's a roller skating song, you want to kind of get some roller skate footage. If it's a driving song, if it's a barbecue song, whatever you want wherever you want this song to be consumed, then, you try to match that music to those moments. And then you just cut it up into micro pieces, right? When I say 7, 15, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, start posting those things on social, see what resonates. And if it does start to move and you start seeing some organic traction on it, then you'll start to add some paid ads on it, I think, to see if you can get some additional conversion on it, right? So this is pretty much the strategy that I would kind of tell folks to use in 2026. Hold on one second. You said you want to do Dark Horse by Just Trey. Tell me where it is. Did it get submitted on the Nero side, or did it get submitted on the Sound Surge side? So that's what I need to know. I need to know what that is. I need to know where that record is actually being. I need to know where that record is actually being hosted at. You follow? So when we can get to that, then we'll know what it is. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Like I said, thanks for the super chat. We're trying to make this thing work the best way we can make it work, so we can try to get to everybody that we can. Shout out to these folks jumping into the live. So Tony G, just to make sure, shout out to everybody that's jumping in. We're gonna jump into this next record, man. Shout out to Tony G, man. Good work in kind of combining both things together. This joint is called my ex-wife's in there, so somewhere. All right, let's see what it sounds like. I don't know what it is. Looks like it might be country.
Yeah. I've been a sinner. I've been a sinner. I've been a sinner in a Sunday suit, hands in the air, still chasing truth. Front porch flag in a gravel drive, thanking the Lord I'm still alive. Little hands reaching up for mine, that's the reason I'm holding the line. I ain't got much, but what I give is everything in this life I live. I ain't perfect, never claimed to be, just trying to be who they need me to be. For God, my kids and my country first, I gave it all through the best and worst. Some things in there somewhere, I guess.
Classic, classic AI song structure. You know what I mean? And when I say classic AI song structure, is that AI is going to have these perfect vocal performances, man. I think this is what's frustrating everybody. It's like, it's like the vocal performances are like things that us as producers and musicians we would kill for these type of vocal performances from real people, man. Like, to get a vocal performance like this one, man. To get a vocal performance like this one, man, like to stand out in the studio, would take, supreme talent and supreme time. And the way that if you listen to how this record is outputted, it has a certain length inside of the intro, and then when we go to the intro is like a little bit over 30 something seconds, so to me that might be too long. And then it starts off with a verse, which is kind of decent, but if you notice the verse into the hook, and then the hook is doing one thing, and then it goes to my wife is in there somewhere, so it kind of doesn't connect. And then the verse is actually kind of like a 10-bar verse before it goes into the hook. And that's something that Suno will do if you're not really, if you're not really akin to, if you're not really used to certain song structure, then you're gonna do it that way. And I've been trying to get folks to really pay attention to the song structure in this live series. And we create these graphics that, in our Future Producer Society, inside of our group. That's if you're not part of our Future Producer Society group, make sure you join that. It's school.com/Future Producer Society. You're going to learn the music business, learn music production, learn music publishing and everything in between, right? Music marketing, copyright, etc. But we talk about this stuff extensively in terms of making sure that folks really understand how to structure their records, right? So now this is a recommended structure that I kind of give folks, and this is something that we talk about in terms of if you're trying to pitch your music, right, and to artists to get your stuff kind of recorded on, and then also if you're trying to create records right now that I believe can be kind of bulletproof for the ADHD, or what I would call the new age swipers, right? Because all they do, folks, is just scrolling and swiping. So we try to make sure that folks are formatting their records where the intros are pretty short. We're going right into the strongest part of the song, which is the hook. Short verse, mini bridge or mini verse, and then go back into the hook. And then we're kind of rinsing and repeating that format. And it's something that we're trying to really get folks in tune with, because that's where certain songs are right now. And this is where we can kind of get folks to really get their song arrangements, really up to speed, so it can help these folks to get the best types of records that they can possibly get, in today's marketplace. So make sure that y'all are checking that out, using that song structure, man, trying to help yourselves to, just really get in this where it needs to be. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, man. I do appreciate those that are jumping in. The vocals should, the vocals should definitely make sure they're standing out. But see, with AI helps us to level a lot of those things out and helps us to kind of get things where they need to be. So shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream. We're going to jump into this Sound Surge. This record is called, you see what it's called, by Junks Do. Let's see what this sounds like.
ਹੋ ਕਰੇ ਪੰਪ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏ ਦਾ ਬੈਠੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਖੁਣਿਆ ਨਾ ਬਾਪੂ ਤੇ ਤਾਏ ਦਾ ਮਾਰਨੀਆਂ ਫੂਕੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਪੁੱਟਣਾ ਕੋ ਪੈਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੇ ਫਸਾਏ ਦਾ ਝੋਪਰੇ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਐ ਕਾਲੀ ਤੇ ਟਾਇਰ ਵੀ ਵੱਜਦੀਆਂ ਬੜਕਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਫਿੱਕੇ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਫੈਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਲਾਂ ਚ ਕਰਾ ਦੀਏ ਇਮੇਜਿਨ ਕੇ ਕਾਲ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਲੰਗੇ ਬਾਹ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਦੂਜੀ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਪੈਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖੀ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਪੱਟਾਂ ਤੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਥਾਪੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਚੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖੀ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਆ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਫੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖੀ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਓਪੀਨੀਅਨ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋ ਰੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖੀ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ I don't give a fuck ਨਹੀਂ I don't give a fuck ਨਹੀਂ ਜਗਨਾ ਹੋ ਭੱਜਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਭੱਜਣ ਦੇ ਡੱਕੀ ਨਾ ਇਸ਼ਾਰਿਆਂ
Yeah. Shout out to I don't want to butcher this name. Is that Jendu? You know, it has a decent beat. You know, the language barrier is a little bit outside of me. For the most part, the vocals seem like it's where it needs to be, a little bit over the track. Trying to see if I can catch the cadence. You know, sometimes it doesn't have to necessarily be in English for you to kind of catch the vibe. And, you know, for this one, it doesn't seem like it's like really like landing where I needed to land in terms of the, you know, rhythmically and, you know, and melodically. Sometimes you just need those things to land a little bit better, even if it's in a different language. If it lands a certain type of way, or if it's hitting the music a certain type of way, hitting it a certain type of rhythmically, a certain type of cadence, like you can definitely hit a vibe that'll kind of translate, you know, cross languages if it sometimes has the right melody, you know, or if it's following like the right rhythm, you know. But shout out to him for definitely jumping into for jumping in and submitting that. We appreciate that. This one's called produced by who? Who's it produced by? By Drip God.
White.
I love you, Drip God.
I've been on one since day one. I need everything, I don't care what they want. I want it all, I want it all. I got a ball, I got a ball. I've been on one since day one. I need everything, I don't care what they want. I want it all, I want it all. I got a ball, I got a ball. Money keep on calling on the high ski. I went from Philly to the Bay where they get high feet. Now I'm in Atlanta, this shit is lit. Stacking all this paper, I'm in this bitch. Whammy, big ass bankroll. Young fresh as ever, R.I.P. the bankroll. Yeah, I lost my little brother, this to give back. I gotta take it to the top just to give back. Jump in the coupe, where the fuck is the roof? I can hear the money say get the fuck in the booth. Okay, yeah, I'll go and get the money. I feel like okay, feel like I got the trap jumping. Money go in, the money go out. It's funny how these niggas broke but still got my name in their mouth. I had it poppin' in Philly but still want the love in the South. Yeah, I know they love the delivery, that's why they cashing me out. Yeah, I've been on one since day one. I need everything, I don't care what they want. I want it all, I want it all, I want it all. I got a ball, I got a ball, yeah. I've been on one since day one. I need everything, I don't care what they want. I want it all, I want it all. I got a ball, I got a ball, yeah. Bring the whip up off the lot, yeah. I feel like I scraped the pot. Watch the way I whip the wrist in this fucking booth. Watch the way I do my shit, I've been the fucking truth. Check the history, this shit don't ever change. Niggas acting fake, it really be too strange. I can see the look in their eyes when they see me. It's the way they did my. Hold on. Watch how I jump in this bitch on the scoop. Watch how I turn it.
Shout out to produced by Drip God, man. Shout out to him on this one, man. Like this mix is bad, right? Like everybody, I think we can all hear that this mix is bad. The mix is bad because everything is overloading in terms of where the music is at. But for the most part, this shit type lit. You know what I'm saying? Like it definitely got the energy that it needs to have. You know what I'm saying? And the hook to me is pretty strong. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. You know, getting it done. Shout out to Cass Productions in the building. Shout out to Deuce Nines, the AI god in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys. Yeah, I like this one, you know. I like this record. It needs a little bit of work in terms of like so it can be sonically cleaner. And then another part of it that's kind of, you know, in the beginning, to me it sounds a little bit like it could be in the wrong register. In relation to the music, right? So, you know, it's one of those type of things, man, where I think sometimes you you can have a record that has all of the right elements, and then we just need to kind of find a way to make sure that it mixes together properly and that it marries well. I shouldn't even say mix. I should say that it marries well. So that the record, the music is sitting in the right kind of the bed along with the vocals and the vocal performance. I'm over here looking for words. My head is like I'm tired. We was in the live. I wind up jumping into shout out to Cast Productions. I wind up jumping into his live last night. He was hosting a live where he had some where him and his guys were playing some beats, and had some artists in there that were actually freestyling inside of the joint, man. And it's one of those things that I try to let people understand, man. It's like, yo, when you're in this game, like, you just don't know who's gonna be in those things listening, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening is that I'm in a live stream and I'm seeing a bunch of names, that I might see again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing people rap that I'm like, okay, certain things sound certain ways. You know what I'm saying? And this is part of Kaz building his brand, getting folks rapping on his beats, basically positioning himself to basically conduct some business and at the same time network and grow his social, right? This is what it's really about. I'm really trying to get folks to kind of understand that. So for Kaz, listen, man, I had to jump in there, man, because at the same time, me being able to jump in, I'm really trying to see what you're working with, trying to see the progress and trying to see how everything that we're doing on the outside is working for you on the inside, right? So I'm looking at that because, they're going to say the mark of a person who's a mentor or a leader is the fruit that it produces, right? So I'm looking at the way that he's handling his people. I'm looking at the way he has his live going. I'm looking at the way that they respected him in his live. I'm looking at how they're reacting to his music, because now his music is moving up to a different level. I'm hearing his music getting better. So I'm looking at all of these markers, and part of me, I'm really happy about that, right? Because I'm like, yo, this is a person that really was trying to get themselves better, you know what I mean, and trying to learn this thing, and what I saw was somebody who was hungry and somebody who was like, yo, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna do this shit. And kudos to you for taking that step, going live. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell y'all, man, we just follow the script, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just follow the script. There will be progress. You will see things that will start to feel a little bit better. Trust me, man. Like, just follow the script, man. Like, remember what we're trying to do here. It's like, this is social media. It's like it's not going to appeal to everybody, man. That's the largest and worst mistake that we try to make when we're doing this thing. It's like, it's not going to appeal to everybody. What we do don't appeal to everybody. Everybody will not like my beats. I have to accept that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to accept that everybody will not like my beats. Everybody will not like my music. That is okay. You know what I'm saying? What I have to do is make sure my music is technically sound, right? We get it to the best of the way they can sound, and then let it land where it's supposed to land, right? The only thing that we're trying not to do is be out here singing things wrong and, out of key and having stuff sounding crazy in that kind of fashion. But when we get the stuff, once we start getting stuff technically sound, like how I'm hearing your stuff going now, I'm hearing how the samples are going, I'm hearing how the drums is moving, I'm like, okay, now he's getting it. So I'm like, all right. So now I'm like, okay, well, we can only get better now, right? We can only get better, man. So shout out to you for just really just being a good example, man, of what it looks like. Like for real. I really like that. Demetrius, where you at? Are you on the YouTube side? Let me see where you at. Ashkin, what up, man? This thing was going on a multi-chat. It was doing all good. Now all of a sudden it just did something weird. It's weird what it's doing. This one is called Perfect Timing. What we doing? Shador Sanders on them by Demetrius. Is a Maryland artist. Hook and second verse. This is by Demetrius. Make sure y'all are following. This is a skip. He's skipping the line, trying to get himself heard tonight. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Let's go.
This feel like perfect timing. 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 Yeah, and niggas is ill. That timing is perfect for real. Go hard like we doing a drill. Beach we kill. Flow is your weapon, conceal. You pussy get out of your feels. Man, time still. Removing that E, we in motion. Never in a pickle, we deal. Lips is sealed. Tell me your secrets, lil' mama, no judgment, but I keep it real. Over that hill, I think and I need confirmation. I do what the fuck that I feel. Hard as steel. Bars like a highlight reel. I die, but I can't be killed. Human thermostat, I raise the temp. I raise the 40 like a practice limp. Peep my surroundings, I can hear a pin. Drop, baby, soon as you wet. So maybe I'll enter like Andre Ben. Who I die without any shit. And all this pressure make my cement. Call me greedy cause I ain't content. I'm 124 till I need a stint. A 72, bitch, I'm talking inch. Sweet success, I just need a pinch. All direct, I won't send sublims. Life is a dice game, I'm just trying to live right, man. Throw some babes on these ice creams. Follow my drains, win a circle, the whole team. Blowing dope like I'm Coltrane on a program. We up, bitch. This feel like perfect timing. 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 What I do to your bitch off the vocals, just imagine when she get a visual. Little playoffs and change from the spins, so you know what I do off the physicals. I'm a hustle with major thing different. Check my history, don't need no provisions. In my blood, my granddaddy was pimping. Now other push caddies and Bentleys. They hand me the keys, so I can let them down. The whipping and Chevy like family tradition. In the don't kicking bitches. Only thing that I missed was a ceiling. Big expensive, got this, take a risk. Got the chips and they out of the system. Always had my head on a swivel, I ain't playing the middle, you can't. Built my name and took that to the bank. Laid the bricks and we climbed up the rank, yo, captain talking. Used to be camera shy, but I can't hide, they can't ignore me. Fall from the mountaintop, so this can't be my last performance. They can try, but can't hold us. This the tide taking over. Told you Barrett's, it's the rolling, it's 40 West. This feel like perfect timing. This feel like perfect timing. This feel like perfect timing. This feel like perfect timing.
Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Yo, Demetrius, what up, yo? This shit hard. Pause. This shit tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to process it in my head, right? Like I'm trying to process it. I'm like, you know, every now and again you're gonna get one of those ones, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm fucking with it. Listen, how long this been out now? When you dropped this, and where you from? This. I got so much I gotta say. Hold on, I'm just trying to process for my folks that are joining into the live stream. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta understand, like, you know, I'm really into this hip hop shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in this hip hop shit. He said June 5th, and from Maryland. All right, got you. So listen to this shit, man. Like I gotta. For my folks who say they are submitting on SoundSurge, can you guys tell me if you're getting an error message? Please tell me what the error message might be in the chat. Just let me know that so I can let the developers know if something is going a little quirky on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with the developers, trying to make sure that, you know, that this joint is running the way it needs to run. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, it works pretty well. So, but I do know it's like I said, it's a new platform. We're trying to make sure that folks is working through all the bugs. So, listen, this perfect timing shit, man. Like this is perfect timing by Demetrius, folks. If you ain't listening, if you missed it, just pay attention. I'm gonna give you a little feedback.
This feel like perfect timing. 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 Yeah, and niggas is ill that time in this.
All right, this hook is solid. Right? This hook is solid. And when I say that the hook is solid, pause, meaning that it has the replay value, it has the repetitiveness that it needs, it has the right number of vocal stacks, ad-libs, etc. And the beat is following, or you're following the beat. So we have a good marriage here on the hook. I need you to stay with me. This is good, right? This is good. My problem is the producer starts playing with the track when you rhyming. And I don't think he should be playing with the track with all of the switch ups and everything, overproducing the record when you're rapping for the first verse. This is an absolute no-no. You cannot do that. As a producer, you cannot have the beat going all crazy, switching, because what it does, it creates this conflict for us. We don't know whether to listen to you as the vocal performance or to listen to the beat making all of the switch ups. So now we having a hard time trying to determine what should we listen to, right? And you're spitting this shit. So we got to make sure that the artist has the chance to breathe. We got to strip the track down. See, like how he has the verse, the hook doing one specific certain thing and it ends, right? So this first verse, especially on this first verse, as he gets deep into the first verse, it starts to level itself out in terms of all of the changes. But listen to this one time. Look at this. Like,
perfect for real, go hard like we doing a drill. Beats we kill, flow is your weapon, conceal. You pussy get out of your feels. Man, time still, removing that E, we in motion. Never in a pickle, we deal. Lips is sealed. Tell me your secrets, lil' mama, no judgment, but I keep it real. Over that hill, I think that I need confirmation. I do what the fuck that I feel. Hard as steel, bars like a highlight reel. I die, but I can't be killed. Human thermostat.
You don't need to do all of that. See that? All that, the drum fill and all of that. Like he's doing too much. We need to have a certain pocket of sample and beat that you need to rap on. And I'm going to show you where we should be looping that for at least 8 bars. You follow? The most we can probably do in the first 4 bars is maybe pull the drums out, right? So the drums now, so that you can actually stand out. We have to make it so that the artist's vocal performance is standing out on verse 1. Especially if you're a lyricist. You follow? If you're a lyricist and you got a dope voice and you know how to manage yourself on these tracks in terms of your birth control and you are on beat, right? When you're one of those type of artists, you have to have the vocal performance stand out on the first 8 bars of your rap. Period, point blank. I can't say nothing else outside of that. You follow? So let's continue with this so that we can be clear on what it is that we're making go through. And give me 1 second. Let me check some of the chat because I know folks might be trying to get at me on the other side. Error in uploading. Okay. Thank you for that. I'm going to send that over to the folks. See what that situation is. So let's continue with this right here. Ready?
I raised the temp, I raised the 40 like a practice limp. Peep my surroundings, I can hear a pin. Drop baby soon as you wet, so maybe I'll enter like Andre Ben. Who I thou without any shit, and all this pressure make my cement. Call me greedy cause I ain't content. I'm 124 till I need a stint. A 72 bitch, I'm talking inch. Sweet success, I just need a pinch. All direct, I won't sense a glimpse. Life is a dice game, I'm just trying to
see right here it goes. That's what we need to have going for the verse right now. And then as we get to the end of the 4 or the 8 bars, we might have the da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And then back. We want to limit all of we don't want to have this bitch switching all around because we got to get into the flow. We got to get your flow good. You follow? We got to hear that flow. We got to hear these rhymes. We got to hear the cadence. We got to see if it's on beat. We got to hear all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that is going to make it go crazy on it. You know what I mean? He from Maryland, too. That's who's that? Boima?
Live right, man. Throw some babes on these ice creams. Follow my dreams. Win a circle, the whole team. Blowing dope like I'm Coltrane on the program. We up, bitch. This feel like perfect timing. 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 What I do to your bitch off the vocals, just imagine when she get a visual. Little playouts and change from the spins, so you know what I do off the physicals. I'm a hustle, what made you think different? Check my history, don't need no provisions. In my blood, my granddaddy was pimping, now other quickers can get me. Check the work while I manage the business. I ain't asking my numbers exact what my label is at, cause the man in the mirror always knew I'd be in this position. I went straight to my college decisions. In the don't kicking bitches. Only thing that I missed was the ceiling. Big expensive, got this take a risk. Got the chips and they out of the system. Always had my head on a swivel, I ain't playing the middle, you can't. Built my name and took that to the bank. Laid the bricks and we climbed the rank. Yo, Captain talking. Used to be camera shy, but I can't hide, they can't ignore me. Fall from the mountaintop, so this can't be my last performance. They can try, but can't hold us. This the tide taking over. Told you, Barons, it's the road and it's 40 West. This feel like perfect timing. This feel like perfect timing.
And you see what happened here, bro, is that because the producer, yo, man, yo, shout out to the producer, though, man. Yo, shout out to the producer. Shout out to the producer. Because what he's done in terms of taking the vocal sample, doing what he's doing, making those drums go, like, that shit is a masterpiece in terms of what he did to it, right? The issue, man, is that the shit, it gotta get it. Yo, it's too much. Like Riz just said, it's too much. Like, we gotta be able to get this beat down. For folks who are having issues on the I know some folks are having some issues on the Sound Surge side. Y'all could always try to get something through on the Nero side. I'm gonna put something in the chat so that you can see the Nero side, so you can get something in. But what I was basically trying to say, in a nutshell, is, you know, I'm gonna go back to this infographic, man, and share this infographic with your producer, so he can understand what we're talking about. We need the beat to be, the intro to have like a small 4 bars. We need to have the hook go for 8 bars, right? Now, typically, with a sample like what he got going on, that joint is probably 4 bars repeat twice to make it 8. We cannot have the beat changing every 2 bars. We can't do that. You can't have the beat changing every 2 bars. It creates such a distraction for you as an artist, and you don't get a chance to shine. Like, you just don't. And it's like, man, we can't get a chance to get into the record because the record has to have a groove. You follow? Like, most records are gonna have a main groove where they're gonna be the and then there are elements that are introduced, boop, boop, right? And there's an instrument. These are instruments and things that come in and come out, right? But the main groove doesn't change. Right? Only until we get to the bridge. People always told me, right, for the transition, right before we get to the right before we get to the hook. So we have to have a main groove in this record, you know. And this goes out to all my producers and my folks that are jumping into the Future Producer Society. Make sure that if you're not part of that group, make sure you're jumping into it at school.com/Future Producer Society. It's free to join. we have to make sure that we're creating space. Like we have to, and we have to make sure that we're maintaining a groove. This beat is crazy. Like it is so levels crazy. I definitely want to hear more music. This is if this is your main producer, you stick with him. If this is your main guy, you stick with him. Because once he figures out what I'm talking about, like once he figures it out, because sometimes this is where an artist and a producer now help to create a sound. Once he figures out that he has to just do a little bit less, right, in terms of setting up his beat, he don't need the filters, he don't need to do this, he don't need to do all of that, the drops. Like that's some 90s type shit. Like you don't gotta do that. Like that's what we used to have to do when we walked into a room full of fucking producers and we had to basically win the room. Like we had to have the beat. if we walk into the room, like we would walk into a room, you don't know who the fuck you're gonna see. You might see Just Blaze, you might see Alchemist, you might see a whole bunch of that, you know what I mean? I picked it as a finished project. Okay. So even in the situation where you rapped over the WAV file, what you do, right, as an artist, and I'm gonna give you a little tip as an artist, when you're inside of the studio with your engineer, what you do is you pick the section that you feels cleanest for you to rap on, right? And what you do is you just tell your engineer, take that part of the track and loop it, right? This is what when we do records with Max B, this is what Max B does. Max doesn't take the record in its entirety and rap on it. He takes a section of the beat and then he has his engineer loop that, and then he'll write his song or do his songs to that, and then it's up to us as the producers now to come back and build around what he already laid, right? So you as an artist, you guys always have the ability, as long as you know what the tempo is, and most engineers can find the tempo by tap tempoing, you have the ability to go in and chop the record up, right? As long as it's on beat, on tempo, you can chop this record up and you can basically I hate to say it, you can rearrange it to almost produce it, right? So that's part of the reason also why I think artists should also be part of the Future Producer Society, so that you understand that, right? So that when you're going into the studio, you're like, man, I just got a 2-track. I can't do nothing with it. No, yes, you can. As long as you got the tempo. You can have that joint chopped up. And as long as he got everything looping properly, you can chop up your beat. And, nobody would know what it is. You just have to make sure you have the right sections for the right places. So then you could go in and you can say, all right, I need 8 bars of this. I need 4 bars of this. I need another 8 bars here. And then you can basically do your song in that way. But outside of that, where my producers at? Make sure we jumping on with Demetrius, man. Tap in. You know what I'm saying? You said he got an album out now called West Times 2, and that's the last track. So why you ain't give us the first track? Listen, he give you in the stamps because it gives you the chance to control your output. You follow? It gives you a chance to follow your output. It gives you a chance to arrange your beat in the way that needs to be arranged, man. Like, so this is a smart way of getting it done. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is really one of those type of things, man, where so I like this record, man. Whole album 1616. Gotcha.
This feel like perfect timing. This feel like perfect timing.
A paradise for you and me.
Yeah, and niggas is.
Yo, you see he got the electric guitar in there, dudes. Hold on, listen to this shit. This shit crazy. Huh?
This feel like perfect timing. This feel like perfect timing.
A paradise for you
And when that shit man, you gotta be crazy though.
and me.
Yeah, and And niggas is ill, that timing is perfect for real. Go hard like we doing a drill. Beats we kill, flow is your weapon, conceal. You pussy, get out of your feels. Man, time still, removing that E, we in motion. Never in a pickle, we deal. Lips is sealed. Tell me your secrets, lil' mama, no judgment, but I keep it real. Over that hill, I think that I need confirmation. I do what the fuck that I feel. Hard as steel, bars like a pussy, get out of your feels. Man, time still, removing that E, we in motion. Never in a pickle, we deal. Lips is sealed. Tell me your secrets, lil' mama, no judgment. Timing is perfect for real. Go hard like we doing. Yeah, and niggas is ill, that timing is perfect for real. Go hard like we doing a drill. Beats we kill, flow is your weapon, conceal. You pussy, get out of your feels. Man, time still, removing that E.
Right there, just loop it. Oh my God, bro. You got one of those ones, bro. Shout out to Demetrius on this one, man. Shout out to Demetrius on this one, man. Shit. I'm telling you, dog. Listen. I fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? We got to hear some more shit though. You know what I mean? It's so crazy, man, when I be listening to some of these tracks, man. I listen to some of these guys do their thing, man. And I really like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really love to hear like the songs that are cutting through. You know what I'm saying? Because what it signals to me is that, you know, we still got some people out here that's really still studying. We still got some people out here that still respect the craft. We still got some people out here that's really gonna do some dope shit. You know, given the right opportunities, man. And that's what I really want to be a part of. I want to be a part of really finding who's going to be those next ones. You know, who's going to be those next ones? Who's going to be those guys that's going to be like, yo, Jug, we finally did it. You know what I'm saying? We cut through this shit. It took us a little time, and we got to that thing, man. He said, sometimes I feel it's better to listen on shitty speakers like a phone to be listened to on the phone. So that bass can transfer through the phone, 808s can transfer through the phone. They're finding ways to now mix so that the phones become the priority, because that's what most people are consuming or using their phones to connect to Bluetooth and so forth and so on. So I wouldn't say we want shitty speakers. I think what has to happen is that people have to understand how music translates in different areas. What we used to do when we had not so good speakers, right? Because you figure my first setup, I had a Alesis, or what they call it, Alesis. I used to call it Alesis, but it's Alesis Monitor Ones. I don't know if you guys remember those. There used to be like little dark blue speakers with black cones. Used to have a nice bass response, and then I had an RA100 amp. All of those by Alesis. And let me tell you something. The speakers in that amp last me maybe 15 years. I ain't gonna hold you. Because once we upgraded, so once I had that in my first setup. That along with like a Mackie board and stuff like that, and when I had ADAS and all that type of weird stuff. And then I had a bunch of things in the signal processors, and then when we finally got our first set of big money, rest in peace to Power from Wu-Tang. He upgraded our system, right? So I wind up getting a larger board, like a Soundcraft Ghost board, and then I wind up getting these Mackie speakers. And Mackie had speakers that were emulation speakers. You can emulate different speaker settings. So, because at the time I didn't really like to have the Yamahas. And the Yamahas weren't self-powered. The Yamahas required another amp. So I didn't want to get speakers that weren't self-powered, so that at those times I had got the Mackies. And then I took the speakers that I did have, wind up, giving them the mic, and then when Mike upgraded his joints, and we gave him to Sean, or you know what I'm saying? So every time we upgraded the equipment, we just gave it to somebody else in our crew. And that's how we kind of make sure everybody every time we got a new MPC, we gave somebody the old one, so we can kind of just keep the team sharp. So even though you might be listening to stuff on kind of crappy speakers, the key to it all is taking whatever you mix and listening to it in different places. So you different places to see how it sounds on different people's system. And that's how you start to realize how good your mixes are or aren't, based on the places that you can play them in. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live, man. That was perfect timing, man. What's this joint called? Fried chicken? Hold on one second. Let's see something. Hold on one second. Okay, what's that Cleveland? What's this record called? This record's called Fried Chicken by who? Beat Street.
Has broken the fabric of our reality.
Pussy wagon shaking nugget. Shaking nugget. Shaking nugget.
Yeah, I am not mad at it the way that it's going right now, because it's definitely like it's hitting at a certain level right now. Like that joint hit at a different type of level. I probably would have arranged it slightly different. You know what I'm saying? But I like the way that I like the sounds that he used on this one. You know, the drum is really hit. This drum is cutting through the mix crazy. Bass cutting through the mix crazy. But it's distorting.
Shaking nugget.
Yeah, definitely one of those ones. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live, man. Cole Hazard, man, thank you for the gift. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Shout out to all the new followers, man. Like for real, man. It's been a crazy week, man. You know, just kind of listening to all this AI news. I see that Suno has made a deal with BMG. I just see a whole lot of things happening, man. A lot of things going on in the business with these new AI labels and all this other good stuff. You know, just definitely is it AI help you get your degree? Listen here, man. I ain't got nothing. I'm not one of those ones that got anything bad to say about AI, bro. I'm old enough to know better. You know what I'm saying? I'm old enough to know how it used to be to have to do this shit manually by hand. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when we were, you know, trying to build our websites and trying to do stuff in Dreamweaver and all of that type of shit. Like, I've been here long enough to know how hard it really was to get it done and how much money we used to have to pay third parties and people to do certain things and how long we used to live on Fiverr to find people to help us with this and help us with that, and hours on Photoshop and all types of shit. Yeah, but you know, we trying to make it do what it do. We working how we got to work it. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream. Shout out to all my new folks who are joining into the Future Producer Society. Folks that are jumping in. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's getting in on this, getting in. how we getting in. We're about to tie this session up tonight. Shout out to everybody that's jumping in. They say they made it too easy to learn and use. Look, Suno about to go crazy. And Udio and them is going crazy. Everybody's, listen, there's a lot of things going on. Suno's about to turn into a full DAW. And then they're going to add a publishing arm. I'm seeing that they're just starting to do strategic partnerships for music publishers. So there's a lot of things happening. You know, folks got to really pay attention, man. You know, you got to pay attention to see how the bread is being buttered. Well, shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. All right, Deuce say got a new promo going on TikTok for Einstein. Or is that for both records? Let me know. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. How's the promotion going? Is it how you feeling with that? Shout out to Mad Oos. Shout out to Mad Oos, bro. He had some joints in the live that I was in last night. You jump into my live. I'm into my producer group. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, man. Shout out to everybody that's jumping in. We about to try to sign off in a hot second, but before I get out of here, there is there's something that I was paying attention to yesterday when I was in Kaz's live stream, and and this is the thing that I think kind of stood out to me, man, is that, people would try to make you think that, like the music business is like dead or something like that. Or like people are not interested in the music business and stuff like that. And I'm trying to tell y'all that is furthest from the fucking truth. It's really a fabrication, an aberration, and probably I would say outright lie. Music is being consumed at a rate that we've never really seen and quantified. Hence the whole AI debate right now, and they're trying to slow the shit down as much as possible because so much music is being made, they can't keep the fuck up, right? So they have to find a way to slow the shit down in certain types of ways. But what I'm also seeing is I'm seeing a lot of hungry artists, and I'm seeing a lot of hungry producers, and I'm seeing a lot of folks who are trying to really just find their way in this thing, you know what I'm saying? So what I want to try to encourage people is, one, don't give up. Number one, don't give up. Two, find your tribe, right? That's going to be important. It's finding a tribe of like-minded people that you can, one, bounce ideas off of, two, inspire each other, and three, really share and learn from each other. Like this is paramount to really supercharging and taking your stuff forward fastest, right? Like you cannot move this needle faster if you don't have information or if you have to fail on your own, right? And I always tell folks that you should look to fail fast, because the faster that you can fail, you can learn from that, and then you can continue to move forward. But a lot of times, what I don't think people are taking away from is when they're in the live streams with us and they're listening to other people's music, they're not taking what with the feedback that we're giving other people's music. You follow? Like they're not learning from that. They're not looking at what's happening to other people. And when we're talking about other people's music, they're not applying it to their own music, right? Like I can't be in a room and I can't listen to what maybe Heat Makers, or if I'm listening to, shout out to Young Lord or these guys, if I'm listening to these guys' music and I'm leaving these guys' sessions and just like not learning from their sessions, not trying to do what they do, but at the same time trying to see what they did, so see how I can apply it to improve what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes folks look at that as saying, hey, we don't want to copy. I don't think it's about copying. Finding out how a person is using their MPC is not copying. It's really you trying to figure out a technique. How people are using FL Studio as a technique, or how people are using their Suno or any other AI product, like trying to figure out what people are doing, one, to make your work a little bit faster, and two, to make sure that you might not be missing certain things, right? Certain things are going to have gaps, right? And sometimes people are going to have knowledge gaps, and some people learn faster than others. So the key here is to try to get as much resources as possible so that you can move your journey faster. You know what I'm saying? Like there are things that, you would like things to happen sooner in your life as you can possibly get them, to happen, only because we're not promised tomorrow. And it was something that I was talking to with, Baker's my right hand guy. So me and Baker be always, chopping up stuff and going over different ideas, different strategies, trying to move things, forward and backwards, as fast as we can. But one of the things that we regret is, like some of the things and some of the successes that we're experiencing, our parents aren't really here to experience that with us, right? So, because our parents have both passed. His parents passed a little bit earlier than mine, saying? So, that's kind of like a regret of ours, like, that we're not able to have really, navigated this thing sooner, right? And everything has to happen in God's time and at the same time too. But I say that to say, man, be relentless. Make sure that you can keep moving forward. Put in some time for everything every day so that you can kind of get your joint moving as fast as possible. And, get the help when you need the help, man. Like, I think that's another thing too. Is like, it's not an island. You don't have to be an island. Get the help if you need the help, And that's one of those things, man. Ask questions, man. Like, drop them into the chat. Ask questions in the group. I'm here to answer those questions. And, a lot of folks are not taking advantage of it like I think they should. You know what I'm saying? So, this game, man, is woof. We are seeing a lot of new things happening. We're seeing like an outright war going on for power between certain factions of hip hop right now. You're seeing guys going back and forth like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is real shit happening in the background because there are billions of dollars at stake, So shout out to everybody that's jumping in. I'm about to jump up out of here. We will be back on tomorrow. Make sure that you guys are checking out, like I said, this Sound Surge. Sound Surge, again, man, is a platform for independent artists and producers, right? So that you can basically get discovered. And it's very early on. Like I said, they're still working on this platform, trying to get this thing where it got to go. But what I believe to happen in this, as we start to break through on this website, I feel like what you're going to see is you're going to see an ecosystem of artists supporting artists, producers supporting producers, and vice versa. You're going to see a situation where a lot of people, you're going to see a lot of people start to really have a lot of motion on this thing, because you're going to see folks being upvoted, folks moving around. And you got to definitely check this thing out. You know what I'm saying? I see that the charts are going to be editorials. They're going to have editorial stuff. And I've also been told that they're going to be using some of the metrics that people have traction on. They're going to be trying to use that also to kind of connect folks to A&Rs and different labels. So that's going to be another type of phase for the rollout. So whoever's the hottest over here, then you'll be able to, of course, have some sort of tangible metrics or something like that to show that you got some real motion. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what it do, man. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, I'd like to thank everybody for jumping in. Thank you for all the new follows, etc. Need y'all to look out for some new music. We got some new music coming out with some new folks. It's crazy right now. You know what I mean? It's a good time to be alive. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that's jumping in. I call this beat Out the Mud, but you know, I just want something. I want some really hardcore outro music right now. So let me look for some hardcore outro music. You follow? Find some I like this one. Just really happy for the mud. It's called Out the Mud, man. We got it out the mud. You know? Shout out to everybody in the live, man. We're about to get up out of here. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. Same bad time.
Beats.
You released your album last week. You submitted the song. This joint is called Heavy on the Wrist. Peace, y'all.